Everything is going good.
Okay. So I think like we all are mostly mechanical, right? Is there anyone from any other branch? Is there anyone from any other branch here? Oh, Anupama, hi, how are you?
Hey, I just wanted to see your session, that's why.
Oh,
You may
that's good,
continue.
that's good. Okay. No, no problem. It will be a generic core placement kind of session. Though from my experience, it will be mechanical oriented, but it's all right. It's for everyone. So should we start or should we wait for more people to join?
We can start.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Mohammed Talha Atiq. I passed from CUSAT last year, 2023, and it's been a great journey there. And then I joined Reliance Industries as a GET, and this month only I was promoted to a manager. So that's the milestone that I've covered till now. There's not much to talk about me. It's just from my experience, I'll be talking about the core placements because we know in placements and core, they don't go parallelly, right? So before we start, I just want to know out of y'all who are there in final year, like S7, please like give me a heads up or something like that. Okay, 7, 8 people, 9, 10 people. Okay, okay. Okay. So we have more than 50% people from final year. Who are there from first year? First years, please. Nithan, Ajay, Devan. Okay. And who are here from second and third year? Second and third year, please raise your hands. Just to have an idea, okay, that how to steer the session. So I think we have more people from final year, right? I was expecting people from fresher because I think if you're in final year and you're seeking advice how to get placed, you're a bit late. But okay, never is too late. So okay, cool. Shall we start? Shall we start? Okay, all right. So a few things before we start. First is that this will be interactive session. After every point, you might raise questions. If you are comfortable with just note your questions down. We can have a question answer session by end of it. Because I feel that you should have questions. Okay, if you don't have the questions, then you are just there. And if you are just sitting like you're not interested in the session, I think you can leave also. There's no like it's not a class, right? And I don't mind if there are 2 people or 200 people. Actually, I don't mind. The people who know me, they already know that. So if you're not genuinely interested, you can go and enjoy the evening. But if you're genuinely interested in the placements and how the process goes around, you can stick, right? Okay, let's start. I made a small PPT because I was a bit busy, so I couldn't do much. But okay. Give me a few minutes. Okay, can you see my screen? Someone please unmute and just let me know. I forgot
No.
to. 1 minute. Okay, I think now you can see my screen, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You can see the presentation mode.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go with it. So first thing is that the core advantage, right? What advantage do you get as a core? Like we all know what placements are. We all know how a generic placement takes place. I think I don't need to discuss about there will be a technical round and there are interviews. I think you all know that, right? And we are on a short period of time. So I'll just cover the thing that I assume that you don't know. Okay. If you have any question, just let me know. So yeah, why the core advantage? What advantage do you get? Like generally, we feel that if you're in core, placement is very bad, right? It's like not happening. So basically, I feel as a core engineer, you don't have much options. You have very few options. Okay. And the companies that give you that options are pretty established companies. Like, for example, you learn about Reliance, L&T, right, MRF. So these are the companies that have been there for like what, 50, 60 years. So the non-core sector, the IT sector is very, spontaneous. They will hire you, they might fire you. You don't know. But in core, there is one thing that I haven't heard of a layoff till now. Like COVID happened, then post-COVID recession, everything happened. Every industry is kind of laying some employee or they're cutting the salary or whatever. But in core, you don't face that because there are no new companies. Okay, no startup culture is there. So it is one advantage that we get, though it's a disadvantage also. We have limited options. But once you have entered the company, you can work there for like 20, 30 years straight and you will not care about anything. Okay. So that is one advantage that we get. We can have a stable life, we can have a settled career boost up. And these companies have a brand name with themselves. Like the reason why I took Reliance is because of the brand name and also the role. But yeah, the brand name speaks, right? To apply for some other company, you'll be like, okay, I worked at Reliance. Like, okay, man, you have a good portfolio. So I think that is the one advantage that we get over non-core people. But yeah, like we all know, let's not hide it. Non-core have a lot of advantages over us. But okay, let's be positive. Okay, so the agenda that we'll be talking about is why placements, like why are we going for placements? What are the other options? The core advantage, how to look different because companies are limited and forms are sufficient enough. So how do we look different in the interview? And then I'll be sharing my personal experiences that how it was for me. Okay, so I think I haven't. Okay, so let's talk about why placements. Okay, why do you need placements? First thing is that you need to develop a career, right? Second thing is that you need money. But the most important thing I feel is that you need experience. See, at any point in life, you have to work. Maybe right now, or 10 years, or 20 years, or 30 years, you have to work for some period of time, right? So I think the experience matters a lot. And in core sector, experience is everything. Because, for example, let's assume a plant, let's say a steel plant. Okay. Now, the machines that you'll be seeing here are like enormous. They would be weighing in tons. The temperature would be 1300, 1400 degrees, right? That is something that you can never experience in life apart from a job. Okay. If talking about non-core, you can experience all sort of bug hunting, AI, ML, everything with your laptop and a Wi-Fi. That's the maximum setup you need to start. Obviously, there are a lot of things involved, but as a noob, just need those things. But if you start for the industry, you have no means of learning it apart from the industry. Like you have to go to the industry. So that's why placement is very important to get a job so that you can go there, you can understand how a plant functions, what are the different things involved, everything about it, A to Z, that you will learn nowhere. So experience counts. A lot of people are like, okay, I want to do research, I want to do an MBA, I want to do this, I want to do that. But I feel if you don't want to switch to a non-core field, for example, coding or some other place, I think you should go to any industry, work there for a year or something, understand, okay, like you have a basic understanding of the plant, you gain some experience. Okay, so that is very important. Why placements are important. Second thing is that campus placements. You have to understand if you are getting a placement outside the campus or off campus as we see it. For a core engineer, it's near to impossible to get in India. You can go to Gulf or some other country, but in India, it's near to impossible to get a job off campus. So your best shot is to capture a job while you're there at the campus. Okay, you have to make sure of it. Like, don't have this lucid dream that okay, no problem, I'm not getting placed in college. I'll apply for somewhere else. Either you need some connection or you need to go outside India. It's as simple as that. Okay. So focus on your campus placements, and if you actually want to get placed, you are not preparing for gate or anything like that, then I think just focus on that. Uh, just put 100% into that, and you will crack it. It's like very simple. Placements are very simple actually. Okay. Second thing is the core advantage. As I've mentioned, you get the brand value that you get nowhere else. See, because in non-core, skills matter, right? If you like, we have seen people, 18-year-old guy, 20-year-old guy working in Google, earning like 60, 70 lakhs, right? But in core, it has been never like that. You will never see that, okay, a 20-year-old guy was made a plant head. It never happens. You will see all the plant heads, all the people who are like vice president level or general manager, they will be old hack people because the experience matters. There's no skill. Like, like, let's say you have to open a valve, right? So there's nothing to that. You just go and switch it up. But to know exactly when to open, and if something happens, how you tackle that, that's the critical point. That is your USP, unique selling point, right? So that is what comes from experience. Same goes with electrical industry or any other core industry. You need to have a certain set of experience that talks for you. Nothing else. In my office, I have seniors who have like experience of 30 years, 35 years. So their work profile is like that. They've worked in applied material or dissolved systems for like 20 years. So, that speaks, okay, this man has worked in such and such company for such and such long period of time. That means he knows the process in and out. Like that is the word that we use, in and out. Like he knows a boiler in and out. Like he knows everything about it. If a boiler, let's say something happens, it leaks or it blasts, the person knows how to handle it because he has seen two, three blasts in his lifetime. Like he knows. And if someone new goes there and it blasts, they will be in trauma. They'll be like, oh, what happened, right? So that experience is very important. And the advantage it comes with is the brand value that you get. Okay. Third thing is how to look different. See, in your batch, there will be like somewhere around 100 people, right? And the placement opportunities will be what? Like max, like at our time when I graduated, I think SOE got the maximum placement for mechanical engineering. And it was somewhere around 30, 35. I might be wrong, but it was somewhere around that. So that was the maximum. So just think about the minimum. It will be like, you'll get like what? 10, 20 seats for like 10, 20 people, the core companies would be coming. So you have to look different. Now, how to look different, we'll talk about in the later slides. And then I'll discuss my personal experience and story. Okay, now first we have to understand what are the different roles you get as a mechanical or a core engineer. Okay, so first is that you get OEMs, original equipment manufacturers. Okay, or in layman's term, a plant. Something, for example, steel plant, rubber plant. Okay, anything like that, where they are manufacturing something from base zero. That is OEM. So OEMs are somewhere that requires highly skill set. Like you need to have very high skill set. You need to have a good core knowledge. You should know about things. Okay. The second category is service. I heard this time in CUSAT, TCE came, right? So that role will be service oriented. Service as in basically, for example, when a plant is made, you develop the layout, you discuss what should be the diameter of this thing, that thing. So that comes under service part where you do designing and planning. So there are two different roles. So you have to make sure that where you fit, you are more in a manufacturing guy or more like a service guy. For manufacturing, you'll have like a plant conditions. For example, if you're working in a steel plant or a rubber plant, the temperatures would be very high. Working in a chemical plant, the chemical contamination will be very high. If let's say you're working in a construction site, as opposed to sunlight, there won't be any fixed working hours, stuff like that. So you have to make sure. Service involves a pretty chilled and laid out environment where you sit in the office and you enjoy the life. It's more into the non-core part of the lifestyle. So you have to make sure that what company you're applying for and what do they do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I was telling you, right, you have to look different from others, right? So how do you look different? See, one thing that you can see is when you go to any, if you have attended any interviews, or you would have seen any interviews, or you have any idea about interviews, you will see that in core placement, you will see people 40 years, 50 years, even 60 years of people, 60 years of age, they are taking interviews. On contrary, the non-core part of it, people are very young. They are like what, 25, 30, max to max, like max to max 35. So they are pretty young people, and though they don't care about your BTech knowledge because they know it's useless, right? Hello. Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello. Actually, your voice is breaking a little bit. Okay, I'll turn off my camera. Maybe the internet is a bit slow. Okay, is it better?
Yeah, I think it's fine now.
Okay. So we're talking about like, did you hear till the last slide? I was clear till here. I was clear till here.
Actually, the voices are fine. I think Ashik is having some internet issues.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Fine.
Okay. Okay. So I think you guys were there with me. So I'll start with the. Okay. So as I was saying that there are a few checklists, right? So yeah, I was talking about the interview. So if you set into an interview, you'll find people with like 40, 50 years of age and having mad experience. Okay. Like they know the process in and out. You'll be seeing them sitting for interview, and they know that you are from a BTech background, you have no plant exposure, but there are some criteria to recruit you, right? So first thing is that they will search for your knowledge. If you sit for a non-core placement, they don't give a fuck that, okay, what you have learned in your BTech, what all tools do you know, what all are these, like, okay, what is this term called, how this functions. They will see at your projects. They'll be like, okay, do you know how this function happens? Yes, sir, I know. Do you know how this thing happens? Yes, sir, I know. What all languages you know? I know this. And you're hired. Even if you're having a subpar CGPA, like, 6, 5, 7 GPA, they don't care. But when you sit for core placements, you have to make sure someone with the age of your father is sitting there. Someone with the age of your father is sitting there. So they will have that mentality that, okay, you should know about the core things, what all things are there in the whole core syllabus, your BTech syllabus. So you have to make sure that you know enough. See, there is no limit for the knowledge. You can't know everything, but you have to make sure that you know enough. For example, if L&T construction comes in and they ask you about, okay, what are rivets? So you have to answer, okay, rivets are these, how this joint happens, what is the difference, how much stress it can take. Somewhere you should have an idea. You shouldn't be like, okay, I don't know what rivets are. If a company comes in like steel power plant, they might ask you how a boiler is designed. What are the different considerations while designing a boiler? What are different losses that are there? So you have to make that you know all of those processes. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you have to make sure about all of that, all of those things, that you know the basic idea of it, and you have a understanding of the company. Like for example, the role that you are applying for, you know about that company. For example, Reliance comes in for a certain sector. For example, the petchem sector, the petrochemical refinery. You have an idea that, okay, I know that they are from refinery. So these people know about refinery. So what all things are there in refinery, you should have a basic idea. So basically, before going to any interview, you should have this idea that, okay, how how they function, what all businesses they are there, and what are the technicalities involved there. That is very important. Okay. Second thing, as I said, they are pretty aged people and they are highly knowledgeable and experienced. You can't make fool of them. For example, this is something that we understand from childhood, that in an interview, never be blank. Okay, always be like, okay, sir, I know this, I know that. No, don't. In core placement, you don't do that, because the person sitting in front of you knows the process in and out. He knows everything about a boiler. He can build you one. So you can't simply bluff that, okay, sir, these things are there. See, if you don't know something, also you can't say no that, okay, sir, I don't know. I don't know. You can't say that. You should find a subtle way. Sir, I was reading about it. Or maybe, sir, I don't know exactly about this boiler, but I know about something about that. Okay. Give them answer. For example, if they ask, okay, what is the factor of safety? Now you don't know exactly what is FOS, right? You don't know the formula, but you can say like, okay, sir, I'm not sure about the engineering or technical term, but I know there is some kind of mechanical tolerance provided to everything. The load it can bear more than what is provided. So that is FOS. So you can give some sort of answer. Never say never that, okay, sir, I don't know this. Okay, and never bluff. In non-core placements, you can go and bluff. The person will laugh, you will laugh, all good. But in a core placement, you never bluff. You always stick to the basics. You say truthfully that, okay, sir, I don't know much about it. Okay, or maybe I was reading about it. Okay, sir, I might be missing on it, but I know this. Never be a blank person. Okay, sir, I don't know. Just give them some answer. And yeah, again, never bluff. So you should be thorough with your BTech syllabus. You should be thorough with the company that is coming, their profile, what all functions they are indulged in, all of that. That is the first very important of core placements. Again, let's not talk about interview, the written test. In that, core question comes in, right? And then you have to answer it. If you don't have core knowledge, you won't be able to answer that. From my experience, even if you have core knowledge, you won't be able to answer that. That I will tell in the story part how to tackle that. Okay. Second thing is project. Okay. Now some people have very good memorization abilities. They get good GPA. They have very good knowledge that, okay, sir, I know all the technical terms. I know this. I know that. I know FOS of this. I know Steele's Young's modulus. I know this. I know that. But they don't expect you to memorize things. They expect you to have some analytical skills, because in a plant, in let's say you work in an OEM, you will be provided with new sets of problems. There you have to use your brain. Your memory won't help you. So how do you show that? You show that through your projects. That, okay, sir, I have done this project. Sir, I have done that project. So they can understand that this guy knows something of, like, apart from the books, because the books that you're studying was written 30, 40 years ago. And the technology at that time and technology at this time are like poles apart. So you have to do some good relevant projects. Generally, people don't take their final year project seriously, and I think that is one of the major mistakes. Please take it seriously. Do it honestly. Try to get some research papers out of it. CUSAT is very good. At least mechanical faculties are there to help you throughout day and night. Okay. So I think you should take the projects very seriously, and you should also do some mini projects apart from your final project. Like for me, I did 4 5 major projects in my BTech. For one, I have written a paper. For one, I have filed a patent. That I'll be like, the patent is published, but it's not granted yet. So soon it will be also granted. So basically, these things build up to your profile that, okay, this guy has done something on the field. He knows. Like, okay, on literature, you might know that how to do a welding. But if you haven't done it firsthand, you won't be knowing it. Okay. And also, there in CUSAT, there are a lot of clubs, right? Darusa, Hermes, Marutsaka, I don't even know the names. Join all of them, or at least one of them. Okay, if you are there in all of them, I mean, it's very difficult to handle, but if you can pull out, you'll be like a great engineer. But at least join one of them, because you should be knowing something which is not there in the books. Because again, books are like very old, right? Third is internship. Now, again, I've said experience counts. So if you have any industrial experience that, okay, sir, I have worked in this industry, I've worked in Jindal, I've worked in here, I've worked there, it adds up to your profile. The person knows that, okay, this guy has been, influenced to a plant. He has seen a plant. Maybe you don't know much about it, but you have seen how it works. So like, okay, this guy knows what is there in front of him. Okay, so that is very important. For internship, people generally wake up in the third year. Like a lot of your batchmates, Nihal and other people contacted me that, okay, we need internship. It's very late. In third year, when teachers are, kind of behind your back that, okay, get an internship, you're looking for it. That's very late. The only problem I find with engineers is that they delay things a lot. If you want to get placed, you start in the first year itself. You want to do a research, you start in first year itself. Want to do anything, you start in first year. In first year, you try everything. And by second year, you finalize that what exactly are you going to do? Are you going to do GATE or CAT or research or placement, whatever? Okay. So those of you who are still in third year or second year or first year, start looking for internships. I did 3 internships. First was I did at BMW. Second, I did as at a local industry called RV's industry. That was COVID time, so I couldn't go somewhere else. Third internship I did from IIT Madras. So you have to make sure that you have a lot of knowledge about the plant and the atmosphere. The interview will be too good. The interviewer will be impressed. Okay, you know about this thing. Okay, you know about this thing. Wow, that's so great. Very important. So you have to make sure to all of that. Now, how to apply for internships and all, that's a very long process. We can talk about it some other time. And one checklist that I haven't mentioned here, which I forgot and I kind of remembered right now, is your communication. See, when you apply for a job, anyone can't access your 4 years in like 10 or 15 minutes, right? They can't. So it's your communication that sells you. That's it. Because when you sit for placement, you are sitting for a sale. People will come and pick you. Okay, this is a damaged piece. This is a rejected piece. Okay, this is a fresh piece. It is as simple as that. I know it's a slave trade or whatever you can call it, but it is what it is. They are picking you up, giving you some money and getting some work out of you. It's a slave trade. In past, it used to happen, and now also it does, but in some sophisticated manner. And they don't beat you also. Anyway, so you have to have a good communication skills. You should be able to convey your ideas to the other people. That okay, this guy knows how to talk. This guy knows how to present. So you have to all of that. You should dress, properly. This is the thing that I have noticed with Malayalis. I mean, no comments, but I've seen that you people take these things very casually. I've seen people walking in sandals to an interview. 90% of the time, it will not make a difference. But let's say there are two people who are similar. Now they have to pick one. They will look to someone who is more professional, who looks more professional, who has done his hair well, who has done his beard well, who has wore a clean shoe, who has tucked in his shirt, a well-ironed shirt. That also creates an impression, but that's the last impression. It's like, you have done 99.9, it's 0.1%, that adds to it. But the basics are knowledge, project, internships, and your communication skills. You need to convey your idea. It's very important. Okay, you have to sell yourself. So basically, this is the whole summary of what I talked about, that you have to have adequate knowledge about different things, because only then you will be able to crack your what we call it, the written test, and then the interview also. For Reliance, there were two different, that I'll talk in the story section anyway. So you have to make sure about that. You have to do some projects. You have to have at least 2 internships, not the KSRTC one. Okay, the everyone goes there and gets something done. No, you have to have a real experience where you have done things. I've told you, right? You can't make fool of those people. They're very smart. You can't go like, okay, sir, I worked at KSRTC. I dismantled an engine and this and that. And they will ask you a simple question. Okay, what is the stroke length of the KSRTC buses? You'll be like, hey, I don't know. Then they'll laugh like, okay, thank you for coming. Okay. The third thing is that internship, and the last thing is your the professionality, the language, the body language, the communication, etc. Now, what are the opportunities? As I've already mentioned, you get most of the things done by the campus placement, but there are off-campus opportunities as well. So how does that happen? First thing, you should have the idea, what all opportunities do I have? What all places are open for me? So in a college, generally in CUSAT, I have not seen that environment where people discuss these things. Okay, bro, there is an opening in DSO. There's an opening in this. There's an opening in that. People don't discuss that. It should be discussed. But there are some Telegram pages, some Insta pages that regularly update about placement opportunities. You should join them. See, 99% of the time you will not get shortlisted, but even the 1% chance that you get shortlisted, right? And those are like some great companies. And even if you get rejected, you will learn how to get rejected, right? You will have that heartbreak thing that, okay, yeah, shit, I got rejected. You will develop, because whenever a company rejects you, they write an email and they give a small reason why they're rejecting you generally. So you will understand, okay, in my CV, this is the problem. Or maybe let's say they accept your CV, but you're rejected in the interview. But you will have an idea how to give an interview, how interview takes place. So it's a +1 learning. So I would say, apart from the campus placements, apply for whatever you see. Like open LinkedIn, apply for 10 jobs a day. One of my very close friends, Aditya Amarnath, he got a job while we are having dinner. I forgot the place's name. It was some Punjabi dhaba in Kakanad. We were having dinner there. And we were just sitting. He randomly applied to a job on LinkedIn, by LinkedIn quick apply, and he got it. That was a 17 LPA job. That's another, yeah, Urban Paratha. Oh yeah, Aditya is here. So yeah, so that's the thing. You don't know when the opportunity knocks in. So you should keep an eye on everything that's happening around you. Should talk with your alumni. Okay, is there any opportunity in your company? Is there anything like that? Whatever, you can just do it. Don't think like, okay, why to apply anyway? I'll get rejected. My roommate Saqib, He applied to Dassault I think 6 to 8 times. Okay, and every time he was rejected. He would come to like, bro, yaar, they emailed that I'm rejected. I mean, that you need some persistency, right, to get rejected 6 to 8 times. But that's life. What if someday he's selected? At Dassault, that was his dream job, right? So you should do that. You should. What I've seen is that people are hesitant. Don't be. See, open LinkedIn. I'm hoping that all of you have LinkedIn. If not, please, you're missing out on a lot of things. I mean, if you have Instagram and don't have LinkedIn, I mean, very heartbreaking. Make your LinkedIn. You search, open the LinkedIn, you search, okay, want to work at Reliance. You Google Reliance Industries. You find this guy is manager there, this guy is GM there. You open them, you just message them. Have zero shame. Hello, sir, good evening. Have some decency, okay? Good evening. I am this from this college, currently in this year with this much GPA. I was looking for opportunities in your firm. Even if they don't reply, text them another day. Text them 3 times a week, 10 times a month. Okay, text different people. Maybe someday someone sees it and they're like, okay, yeah, let's have an interview. Let's just meet. Okay, so you have to keep knocking. Be shameless. Okay, never be like that. Okay, I have some shame. I think someone raised their hand. Anyone's having any doubt? Cool. I think we can move forward. So yeah, you have to look for opportunities. You have to knock. Things won't be plated to you that, okay, come sir, have the dinner. No, it will never happen. You have to make sure. And also, if you are in first and second year, start right away. Do an internship in like second year, one in third year. Okay, you have at least 2 internships, and try doing at least 2 mini projects and 1 major project. Okay, which is your final year project, and do it seriously. Like some people from my batch bought their project from Coimbatore or somewhere. So you should not do that. It's useless. It's literally useless. Okay, so one moment. Yeah, it's so just you have to dream big and dream good because dreams are the fuel for everything. Uh, okay. Now, so before we jump to the questions, we'll have a small story session that how things happened for me and how it all was there. So, as some of your seniors who are there, who know me personally, they have seen me during my BTech period that I've been overly involved with a lot of things. I was there in the different clubs, a lot of things. So, I think for me, placement was never a question because I had that thing in my head. Okay, I will land somewhere. I had that faith in myself. But honestly, I don't want to work because I feel that I'm more research oriented. So I'm planning to quit by later this year. That's another story. But yeah, so for me, it always started that, okay, I need to have at least a placement because it acts like a badge to you. You can say that, okay, I quit my job to do this, right? Your parents can be like proud. Okay, my son got a placement there in core, right? No one gets it. So that is very important. So things started like that for me. I wanted to do everything, the internships and everything that I did was because I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed doing projects. I enjoyed doing everything. And also it supported my placement journey. So the placement starts with you signing for it. Generally, they will have a criteria that you should not have any active backlog. You should get this much GPA or something like that. You apply to it. You sit for a written test. There are generally 2 sections, core and non-core. For core section, I will tell you something very honestly. Use Google. Use Google because the guy sitting next door is using Google. No matter however you can never beat Google. No matter you have a lot of knowledge, the other guy is using Google, he will get a better grade. And they will, get him for interview and not you. For the core section of your written exam, use Google. Please use Google and use smartly. Don't simply search it on your laptop. Have a phone. I know you guys are that smart. Somewhere or some other time, you have taken some chits to examination. So I know, okay, use Google. Please use Google. The analytical part or the reasoning part. They have a core part and a reasoning part. For reasoning part, it's very simple. There are some websites like Glassdoor where you can get some idea of it. And I would say don't Google analytic part because you can solve it easily rather than Googling. So I think use Google for the core part, and for analytics part, use the your general understanding. That's how I did it. Okay. After that, you'll get a shortlisting call or email for interview. You go there, you dress well. I don't know about the shaving beard part because I never did it, and a lot of people I know they also didn't do it. So I don't care. But I just get your hair trim, wear a bit short and wear decent clothes, and just go there. So yeah, for me when I went for the interview, Reliance was there, and I had no idea about Reliance because I was not interested that much in Reliance because generally they deal with the the petroleum side of it, where you are thrown somewhere very away from city and you have to be there working in shifts. It's very messy and very tiring. But I applied and I qualified the written part of it. I went for the interview, and while I was sitting, they were giving their presentation. It's a PPT, pre-placement talk, where they tell about you. They tell you about the industry, the different small rules that they're having, like 5 working days, 6 working day, whatever, the shift timing and everything. So they were giving that presentation. After looking at that presentation, I was like, no man, I can't work here. I mean, it's completely away from life. You have to be, there will be no life, and the pay is not that much. So I was like, okay, I will not sit for it. I'm just attending the PPT and I'll go back to my hostel. But then someone comes in and they're like, Reliance is here for two roles. One is manufacturing, where you are sent to the plant, and second is new energy initiative. I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. I was like, cool. So that guy went from there and he was like, you have this option to choose which interview you want to give. I Googled about it, new energy initiative. I saw, okay, they're doing solar, hydrogen mobility, wind, battery, a lot of things they're doing. Like, nice, this seems interesting. And I was very much into interesting things, trying new things. So I just gave my name for new energy initiative. I gave my interview for that. My interview ran for 45 minutes. I was not questioned about anything from core. Actually, there was just one question. Like, the interview was for 45 minutes, and there was just one question, that was, which section in Reliance New Energy you want to take? Like, what are you opting for? That was the only question I got in those 45 minutes. So how I did it, basically, I started the meeting with my introduction. Again, have a good introduction ready. Introduction is like, we generally sit and like, okay, hi, I'm Talha. I did my BTech from there. Just have a good introduction ready, because that is your first impression. That is the moment when the interviewer decides that I will listen to him or not. Okay. If a movie starts, like all of us, I think, have seen Deadpool, right? The beginning session, that dance was too good, and we're like, okay, the movie is going to be great. So you have to give the first impression like anything else, because first impression is the last impression. And if they are impressed, you are saved. There won't be much of core questions, because the guy has made up his mind that, okay, this guy is interesting. I want to take him. I want to listen to him. So anyway, I started with my introduction. Then right away, I started with my projects and the internships that I did. And I was going on for like 40-45 minutes, and then I finished. And then the person was like, okay, Talha, it was very nice knowing you and all the things that you have done. Now, tell us which section you want to take. So what I replied was that, sir, actually today morning I got to know that Reliance also has something like new energy. So basically, I have no idea that what all things you guys are doing. See, you have to be honest, right? I could not bluff at that moment. So the person walks me through all the different parts of the industry that are there, and then he asks me, and then I reply. Then the HR guy was also like, okay, yeah, cool, I don't have any questions. You might get some questions from the HR. They might be like, okay, what are your strengths, weaknesses? The classic HR questions. You can search YouTube and you type HR questions for interview. Then you can get a good mock from there. It's a generic, everyday the thing that has been repeated from 20-30 years. Okay, what are your ambitions? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? All of that, like that. So you can learn all of that from YouTube. Okay. So after that, what happened, and by evening we got our emails that, okay, you're shortlisted for this and this, and then it happened. So luckily, I got into new energy, and then from there I got into solar value chain, in which my department is ingot and wafer. So basically, just to give a brief about it, we all know solar panels, right? You see some silicon biscuit-like structure in that. Those are silicon wafers, and they are made from silicon ingots. Ingots are basically monocrystalline silicon crystal. So my department is that I'm working on it. It's an R&D role. So it's pretty good. I enjoy it. To have said it earlier that I am planning to quit the job because, to be honest, I was never meant for a job. I just took it because to understand. I told you the experience counts a lot. So I'm planning to pursue research. But yeah, this was the crux of it. This is how you prepare for it. Okay, you have to be confident about different things. You should know your core knowledge in and out. You should have enough projects. You have done enough internships. And one more thing, never think that okay, others are not doing it, why would I do it? Okay, it will put an impact somewhere. For example, I was not the only one selected for Reliance. There were 9 of them, and I worked a lot harder than them. I did a lot of projects and all. But the question is very vague that, okay, he didn't do it, but still he is in this job. That is very vague question. Whatever I did will help me throughout my journey. Somewhere I'll be rewarded for that. So generally I've seen people having that attitude, okay, not everyone is doing that. Why will I do that? No, you do you. That's it. If you want to do it, you want to do it. I've mentioned Aditya Amarnath, right? This guy did a lot of things that no one did, and no one from our batch had achieved. Okay, so it works out somewhere. So I would just say you have to plan yourself that okay, what I want to do, and from first and second year only. If third and fourth year you guys are late, but not too late, you can do something, pull out some strings or something. Plan it before, have a good mind, talk with your alumni, make LinkedIn, reach out with a lot of people. Basically, talk with good people. Don't just talk with your friends and do all of that thing. That is very important. Do that. But spend some time with your intellectual circle as well. Try to develop a circle that you have people in different industries. If you want to do research, you know people from different IITs. So that is very important. So I think this was everything that I could cover in this short span of time. Now we can have a question answer. I was hoping, and I'm still hoping that you guys are going to ask some questions because I'd be more than happy to answer that. Please.
Yeah, I have something.
Yeah, bro. Go on.
Yeah. So, you said that you had done many internships, many projects, and all. So,
Yeah.
uh, how did you do it? Like, actually, I can't even manage my academics and my club activities. So, I want to know is your secret.
Okay, so there is no secret, man. See, uh, I'll give you an example. If you love someone, right? If there is a girl you love, whatever happens, you will find time for her. Whatever happens, you will find money for her to take her around, maybe to, spend on her, give her gifts. You'll find a way. It's as simple as that. See, no one gets more than 24 hours a day. Einstein has that, Newton had that, Kalam Saab had that. So everyone gets 24 hours. Okay, a failure, a topper, a loser, everyone gets 24 hours. So it's a passion, man. Actually, there's no answer to it. How do you do it? You do. That's it. For example, you're there in many clubs, right? And you'll be like, okay, I'm doing a lot of things. There will be some people who are not there in any club, and they're like, I'm not getting time. You are doing 5 things, and you're also saying, I'm not getting time. So I think time is constant. It's just how you take it. If you need to find time, you will find time. You have to manage different things that sometimes you'll have to manage your sleep because sleep takes 8 hours. 8 hours is what, like one third of the day, one third of your productive time. So that is important. You need to make sure that you sleep enough and not more than that. You need to spend less time with the things that are not very, like enjoy the life. See, I have seen every hook and nook of Kerala. Okay, I traveled a lot. I have made a lot of friends. I knew everyone, like from every department in CUSAT, whether you take law or biotechnology, I knew everyone. I talked with people. I had a lot of friends. Okay, so don't think that okay, once you do these things, you're a nerd. You just sit in a room. No, never happens. Like Aditya is joining this meeting. I like, why would he? He already placed and earning good, right? More than me at least. So it's the friends that you make. So I don't think that there's an answer to it. It's just you find the time. There's no secret. You find the time. I think that answers it to most extent.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, how to present ourselves in front of during an interview, during a technical round?
So, see, how to present is a question that you need to crack. Everyone has their strength. Okay. Someone is very good with technical things. Someone is very good with non-technical things. Someone is very good with managerial things. You know what you are good at. For example, if I'm good at technical things, I'll present myself as a core mechanical guy. I will talk more about the core knowledges that I have. That I'll mention the subjects that I find dear to me. If I'm a managerial guy, I'll mention that, okay, while I was there, I was president of this club. I was secretary of this club. I was treasurer of this club. If you are some other kind of person, some skill sets kind of person, can be like, I know CAD, I know this, I know that. So you have to make sure what you know to make how you present yourself. Now, the second part of question is that, which I understand, is how to, like how to give the presentation. So that is something that comes with practice only. I think while I was there, or maybe a year back, Miss Act was trying to do something like a mock interview sessions for the people who were sitting for interviews. So you can do MISAC or other student organizations could do such sessions where they can ask some faculty or the PhD scholars to sit and generally have an interview, so that you are not alien to that environment. You just go there, they ask, you give an introduction, and they ask some questions, you give some questions. From there, you will build up your presentation skills. There's nothing different in that. There's no course book to do. It's just like playing cricket. The more you play, the more you understand. So about presenting, the more you present yourself, the more you go in front of the camera or stage or a person, you can be good. Talking in front of the mirror never has worked for me. You talk with people. And I think you have enough friends, right? You can just talk with them. Like simply like, okay, Ashik, come sit. Listen to my introduction that I've prepared. These type of conversations should be there. I think I've answered to that.
Yeah.
Any more questions from someone from first year or second, third year, or even fourth year? Do we have any more questions?
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, who's there?
Can I give you give that guy a tip, a weird one?
Yeah, please.
Bro, you asked me how to present yourselves, right? You know what I do? What I used to do? I used to call up these customer support executives and just talk for like half an hour. It's a very weird way to do it, but talking to a customer support executive improves your English a lot. Plus, you could also like convey things a little bit more and make them understand. And over time, like after 3 or 4 like calls, you get to interact a little bit more, talk to them, and that exponentially increase the ability of me talking in English and presenting myself, all those things. For me, it worked out. So it's totally different for everyone. It's a very weird way. I understand. I used to call both customer service, Amazon customer service, Flipkart customer service, just for simple issues which I could resolve myself, but still I would just call them. So it's totally different. You find your own way to do things. It's upon you. You have to find out.
Bro, I used to do the same thing. Like I improved my English 2 ways. Okay. First was while I was in my 9th or 10th, I would talk with convent school girls in Facebook. Okay. Now, generally, the missionary school girls, they have great English. And if the person in front of you is talking in English, you can't reply in Hindi or any other language. Right. And they are using all, big words. So that was the first thing. And second thing, I used to dial customer care. And I think they can't laugh. They will be like, yes, sir, I understand, sir. Okay, sir. I'll be doing the resolve. Simply.
The fact that they can't degrade you, and
Exactly.
if they degrade their job will go off, but we have the opportunity to mess up with them and still get away with it.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
And
so
they're strangers, so the hesitation goes off.
Huh.
Nice. I never heard this kind of like way of presenting yourself. That's nice, nice, nice.
You find your own way. That it's totally up to you how you present yourself, how you can do it. You can always rehearse yourself in your mind on your own, present yourself. And I know technical background influences a lot, especially if you want to get into mechanical. But it's better if you have a good presentation skills, because I've taken a couple of interviews in my firm right now, and what we majorly look for is the attitude to learn more and good communication skills. Because you won't get a guy who is fulfilled in everything in every angle, but you can get a guy who is willing to learn plus has good communication skills to exchange thoughts, ideas, or uh, comprehend several complex problems and find solutions to it. So that's also one thing that you can also build up on your own, or just make them understand, make the interviewer understand that you are very curious about this field, and you are really interested in whatever it is happening, and you really want to do it.
Of course, I will.
True, because at least in core, they know that you don't know shit. You should show this attitude. Okay, sir, I don't know, but I
Okay.
want to learn. You show that. Yeah, any other question?
Hi Talha.
Hello, who's there?
Adit.
Oh, hi Adit, how are you? How's Behemoth?
Yeah, Baymat is doing fine, and we finished one of a project which is called Tiffan, and we went
Yeah,
there.
I saw it recently, no?
Yeah. And we are aiming for the next year now.
All the best, man. All the best. Do good, yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, how should we present our projects during the interview?
Okay, so see, first of all, you have to create an opening. Okay, for example, the way I did it, or the way I think most of the people do, first they will give an introduction, and then they will be like, throughout my BTech career, I have worked on several projects which are relating to thus fields. Okay, the general thing is the person will ask, what all projects? That is the general perception. When you talk about something, that I have something in my bag, the person asks, what is there? If you tell them that, okay, I have worked on these projects, they will ask, what all projects? So you should first understand what this guy is interested in. Okay, you can't be like, okay, I did one project in AI. Okay, because that's a poor company. You should talk about, okay, I have done my project in this. Now they will now you can elaborate like, okay, my problem statement was this, that okay, I have to make a machine that can clean houses without human intervention. Oh, they're like, oh, interesting. How did it happen? So, okay, so sir, I took this component, I programmed it like that, I made it like that, I added such and such components while doing it. Also, you should add what all difficulties you faced and how you resolved it. Because anyone come and say that I build let's say a rover, I build a rocket. But how does the person know who's sitting in front of you? They are not coming and seeing your project. You should be like, okay, sir, while I was doing the project, I found a problem. The motor that I was using used to get burned. So I checked on it. Then I got to know the voltage was mismatching. Then after a few iterations, we got the perfect motor for it, which was there to deliver enough torque into that power. So you have to always have openings. You can't simply go like, in my BTech, I did a project on this, that happened, this. No, you have to create an opening. That, okay, sir, I did this. And those are the problems that I faced. Also in interview, I feel one more thing, that you should always answer the question before it is asked. Before they will ask that what all problems you faced and what was your responsibility or role in the project. That's the most important question. They will ask, okay, this was a group project, what was your contribution? Before they ask, you answer it. Sir, I did this project, such and such. In this, my role was designing the CAD for the file, CAD for the structure or the component. That was my job. For that, I use SolidWorks, AutoCAD, whatever it is there. So yeah, you have to always talk about the problem, the process, okay, that how you achieved the solution, and then what was your contribution. So it's the most important thing. I think Aita is also saying that only, right? Yeah, like how you arrived at the problem, like how you find the problem, how you arrived at the solution, and like again, what was your role, your specific role, and how you improved it. I think that is more than enough.
Adding on to that, maybe so you'll encounter a plethora of problems while you do that. You arrive at the solution, right? So the deep dive into those intricate small problems will make the interviewer understand that you have actually done it instead of you have copy pasted it from somewhere. You got the point, right? So this is what we see in many of the interviews. Uh, they will know what they have done and the basic understanding or idea about it. So if I have done it, I might have encountered several set of problems during the entire process of that, right? And I'll know a sub problem of A. And if I'll ask whether that particular sub problem is solved by you, how did you solve it? Right? So that sub problem solution gives you a concrete evidence that you have actually done the project and you have good idea about it. Yeah, Talha.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Now you're audible.
So through that, exactly, because they want to see what you have done. You have to make sure that they understand that. Otherwise, they will simply take it lightly. Okay, this guy has not done anything. He has just, saw something or some of his friends did. He's presenting as your own. You should not leave any room for question. You should answer it beforehand. That's very important. Any more questions? Any more questions? Okay, I think we are through to our session. So thank you for coming, and this is the QR to my LinkedIn. Make sure that we connect there. If you have any questions or you need help with anything, talk with me. I would be able to help you out to whatever extent I am. So yeah, feel free to contact me anytime.
Talha, I had a question.
Hi Nadik, how are you, man?
Fine. Living with
No,
life.
first I need to talk with you. Like how like I've seen you taking a lot of sessions in Tinker. I was very happy about it.
Thank you.
I
So,
hope you're
like,
doing good,
my
man.
question,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I had a question related to time management. So,
Okay.
like, academics, I'm not that interested in it. Like, I don't gain much by sitting in the
I know,
class.
I know,
Most,
I know, I
most
know,
of the
I know.
time, I spend like researching about the projects or something I'm doing in the class, or I sleep or something like that. So one of
Okay.
the dilemma that I'm facing is like, do I sit in the class for the 5 marks of attendance, or do I just skip it and go and do my projects? So I had this conversation with the sir and a lot of our faculties, and the thing that they
uh,
say is like, you need to go for your academics. Your projects are just on the side. So academics is main. But what usually happens is we just open the books the day before the exam and just go with it.
okay,
So what is
so
your opinion?
Natek, yeah. So I am very much similar to you. During my BTech, I have never attended more than 40% of the classes. In my final year, I only attended 8.5 hours from whatever class was there. So I had the same problem. I was in the lab most of the times. I was doing something else, not sitting in the class. Okay, I am very much like the reason why I've like told you this before also. I see a lot of similarities between us. So yeah, I am never a class guy, and all of the faculties knew me. I faced a lot of backlash because of that. I was never given marks what I deserved and all. But okay, I think if you don't want to sit in the class, don't do it. As simple as that. They will give you the attendance, no problem. But just make sure you learn what is there in the books. See, Nadek, in when you come to the real life, you might have this thing, okay, how to solve this problem. And in our books, the theories are from what 40, 50 years old, right? That theory is not going to help me to find the solution. But by using that theory, I can arrive to my solution. For example, Bernoulli's principle, we all know that, right? We all have heard it. It is still used in designing a lot of things. Though it is advanced, there are a lot of things added to that, but the base is still the same. The question comes like atomic model, right? Why do we study Heisenberg and all of that old age thing? So that we could understand their thought process. How do we find the correct atomic model? How we came to the solution. So I just want to say, if you don't want to sit in the class, don't do it. I never sat in the class for the sake of it. You can go and ask to Biju sir or Girish sir. Basi sir was actually very angry from me once. He was like, "You're doing all of that and never coming to the classes." And he cut my marks in attendance. He didn't give me marks in my the internal exams. I was pretty heartbroken. But if you don't want to sit, don't sit in the class. But make sure that you know things.
Okay.
That's my advice, bro. Don't skip the
Yeah.
academics. You are dumb if
Mhm.
you're doing that. Okay, do a lot of things. But like I scored 8.53 GPA. Okay, pretty good. I'm happy with that. While attending no classes, since Panikkar sir knew me very well, I was always awarded 75%. Great man. Panikkar sir is the bestest ever HOD we could ever get. Great guy. So I
Supplemented
think,
that.
yeah, man. I think just have good terms with your teachers. Don't attend the classes, man. No one gives a fuck about it. Okay, don't attend it. But make sure that you know the things. And one question that you asked, how to manage time, I will be recommending a book to you. Generally, I don't recommend books because I feel that people just listen to it, they don't read it. It's a very small book, very short book. It's by, I think, Greek author or a Roman author. I'll just write it in the chat box. Okay. On the shortness. One moment.
By the way, adding on to that fact, right? There are two kinds of people. The kind of people who learn from top to bottom, meaning they would like to research about the advanced topics, and then they would like to come down to the basic topics associated with that, right? So if that is the person who you are, then it's better not to attend classes. We're not promoting that, not to attend any classes here, but if you are the one who's interested about the advanced topics and you would like to climb down the ladder and understand the basics at a later stage, that is also a way of learning, and it's totally up to you. By the way, I in 𝐓𝐡𝐞, I guess I attended one single period, not even a day. Yeah, that
Bro,
is something.
Amarnath, तू तो academics में मत बोल, okay? तू मत बोल. Yeah, so
That's what. So the fact that at the end of the day, um, what do you have extra in your pocket apart from all the guys who are passing out from BTech, right? That's the end of the day question. Like
and
you,
you need to learn.
whatever you
That's it.
learn.
That's
Ah,
it. However you learn, in class, out class, doesn't matter. You need to learn.
yeah.
Like one thing about Biju sir that I love Biju sir. Okay, like literally I call, even now I call him once a month at least. That okay sir, we'll just talk about, laugh, and we'll just talk about it. That person never cares that you are in class or not. My first interaction with Biju sir, a lot of you don't know, I was in CUSAT in first year. Okay, so I was transferred from there. My first interaction, he was like, Talha, I don't see you in classes. I said, sir, I don't like attending classes. He laughed off, never said a word about it. As simple as that. Okay, so he's mad respect to Vijay sir. Yeah. If you are in mechanical and you are not in good terms with him, shame on you. Just talk with him. Go to sit, like I used to, me and Amarnath, we used to sit in his cabin and we'll be like, sir, this, that. We'll just talk rubbish with him. Go and talk with him. The best guy. About that, this book is very like a life-changing book for me. In this, it's like what, 400 years old, like very old book. The philosopher Seneca talks about how everyone has got 24 hours. No one has 25 hours, right? How do you manage that? He actually won't teach you that, but it will be eye-opening book. So I think Natak, you should read it. Very is like what I think 80 pages only. Very small book, you'll find a PDF very easily. And for others also, if you're interested, please read this book. A great book. I think that answers Nadek. And Nadek, I have my eyes for you. Okay, I actually keep checking your updates. Doing good, and I would really
Thank
want
you.
to see where you end up after 4 years.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually really look up to you also.
Yeah, man, it should be like
You're
that.
you're one of the cool seniors that I had met like when I was in the first year. Yeah, so
Yeah, it should be like that. It should be like
thank
that, man. That's how a community is built. I have always focused on the community part of it. That there is no seniority or juniority. Like everyone calls me Talha, yaar. So it's non-existing. I should be able to teach you something. You should be able to teach me something. That's it. We are good friends. Any more questions?
If there aren't any questions, can I thank you, Talha?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Actually,
this was a wonderful section. Yeah, like as Nadik said, you have cool seniors, and apart from other sessions, and this was one of the coolest sessions, and you made it
I
all
think you say
simple.
this to everyone, right?
Yes, of course. This one's like the most simplest, precise and clear sessions. And the first thing I should say to all is that the experience, the importance of experience in learning, practicing, in then projects, everything. When we talk to our juniors, we always say the importance of joining in a club, experiencing what's there. But none of them listen. And now you're also saying, so you made it, as you just stand as a manager, right now.
Yeah.
So I wish my juniors also and my mates also understand the importance and how like how to crack the core placements. Then all of them know what are the procedures, but the bit and the parts of the things that we don't care, or like note that you have said. Also, Aditya have said that, and thank you, Aditya, also joining Talha. Okay, now thank
Hey,
you, both of
Aditya
you.
is like the guy that I a lot look forward to. Okay, guys, thank you for joining. Again, let's connect. If you have any questions, you can get my. Arey, man, love you. Yaar. There's no crashing. You have any question, ping me up there. You can get my number from Ashik or anyone. A lot of people are here having my number. Reach out to me, whatever, wherever, however, I'll help you out. No problem there. Don't have that hesitation. Okay. Please don't call. Okay. Drop a text. That's better. And just all the best, yeah. BTech is there. Do everything. Like dance for Sargam. Do everything. Okay. Just enjoy the life. It's a very fun process. And talk with the teachers. They're very great people. Only a few are a bit which kind of people, but most of them are good. Okay. Everyone take care. Good night. See you again
Thank you so
sometime
much.
in my life.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Talha.
man.
Yeah,
Sure.
good
Thank you
night.
for the session.
Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Bye. I'll keep in touch with you. Bye.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Please. Sir is, I don't like sir.